So hey everyone, I am currently traveling to play a bunch of Dragon Age Veilguard. I can't talk about it yet. I'm allowed to talk about it on the 19th, but until then, we have other stuff to talk about. I wasn't able to stream like I normally would this week for obvious reasons because I've been like on planes and stuff. So I figured I would sit down and still talk about some news topics because there's still interesting things going on in the world of gaming that I want to talk about. And so that's what I'm going to do. So here we are. I wanted to do this first one on a news story that broke about how Sony may have actually done the impossible and secured marketing rights for GTA 6. And if you've tuned into the streams, you've heard me ramble about GTA 6 ad nauseum at this point. Like, this game is going to be massive. It's hard to quantify, like, just how big it's going to be, because I think some people don't, like, fully grasp just how huge this is. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to like break the internet in more ways than one. And it will represent like billions and billions of dollars worth of increased revenue. And there's even stories and reporting of how like Phil Spencer and Hiroki Totoki, the guy that's running Sony, they are like counting on GTA 6 boosting their bottom lines for this next fiscal year through 2025. And that's how big the game is. It won't just affect the bottom lines of the companies that are making and publishing it. It's going to affect the bottom line of like everybody, because it's going to bring a ton of new people into like the PS5 and Xbox Series generation. It's really going to do a lot for it. So this is a big deal if it ends up being true. This report is referenced in this article by Game Rant. Rumor, Sony may have secured GTA 6 marketing rights. And I have some thoughts. We'll go through it. So a new report suggests that Sony has secured rights to market Grand Theft Auto 6 alongside PS5 and the upcoming PS5 Pro. Sony's relationship with Rockstar Games dates all the way back to the PS2 days, so it wouldn't be too surprising if the pair of gaming juggernauts joined forces to market the long-awaited GTA 6. Very few gaming franchises have penetrated giggity, blah, blah, blah. Lifetime sales have surpassed 410 million units during the lifetime of GTA as a franchise, blah, blah, blah. Now, the article goes on and they say it remains to be seen when GTA 6's next trailer will debut, but speculation around the game continues to proliferate, with one very recent rumor indicating that Sony could have struck a deal with Rockstar for exclusive marketing rights to GTA 6. During the latest episode of the XNC podcast, industry insider Mag, I'm not familiar, claimed that Sony has, quote, locked down a marketing agreement for GTA 6, which will allow the company to advertise the game alongside PS5 and PS5 Pro only. The insider assured that the Sony deal won't affect GTA 6's availability for Xbox Series users, but will diminish its marketing exposure on the Microsoft platform. And some people are going to see this as like no big deal. Like, they're not getting it exclusive. Who cares? Like, it's still available on the Xbox. What does this matter? But I actually think it does matter. And I think the best example is Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy, it also had an exclusive marketing deal with Sony where really simple. The game's available everywhere, but what Sony did was they set it up so all of the trailers would finish with a splash screen that said available on PS5 and PS4 or whatever. And a lot of people thought that it was exclusive to PlayStation. And yes, it had an exclusive quest only available on PlayStation for the first year, but still, like, there were many, many people that saw those trailers and just associated the splash screen of available on PlayStation as it's exclusive there, when it just wasn't. But it was just enough of an association for people to be like, yeah, it seems like the kind of game that Sony would get exclusive rights to, it checks out to me. And I think that's exactly what they're going to be trying to do here, is they want people to have that little bit of hesitance when they go into a Best Buy or a Walmart and they're looking to just quickly pick up GTA 6 because all their friends are talking about it. And they would go and grab an Xbox because maybe the PS5s are sold out, but they think back to the trailer they saw or the commercial they saw that had the PlayStation logo on it and like, no, I have to get a PlayStation. So I'm going to drive to the next store and get that. It's something as little as that can make a huge impact on people's purchasing behaviors. And that's exactly why this would be very valuable to Sony. They don't even need to necessarily get it exclusively, so long as people think it's exclusive. Again, we say all the time, like, perception is the reality you have to deal with. In this case, I think the perception being people think it's exclusive. That's what they're going to act on. Whether or not it's true is sort of beside the point at that stage, because people are going to be acting based on their perception of reality and not necessarily what is the case. They go on, MAGG added that this exclusive marketing arrangement will be disclosed when Trailer 2 for GTA 6 releases, as it will supposedly feature the PlayStation logo. He also reckons GTA 6's second trailer will air at the 2024 Game Awards this December, but isn't too sure of this. Interestingly, MAGG's report was further corroborated by insider Red Gaming Tech in a recent tweet, who alleged that Sony will use GTA 6 for heavy marketing of the PS5 Pro. However, they do advise taking the information with a grain of salt until it's officially confirmed. Now, like, no shade to any of these guys, I just genuinely am not familiar with any of them. Like, I just don't know. When I see that you're doing like collaborations with Colt, who's like known to be a wee bit of an Xbox fanboy, let's just say, which I think he would even agree with. You know, it's pretty clear cut. At that point, like, I don't really know how reliable your information is. Maybe it's super reliable, maybe it's not. I just am not familiar with any of these people, and so I don't know whether I should take this with a grain of salt or a bucket of salt, you know. I think the reason people would be saying it, if it's not actually a quote-unquote leak, is because it just kind of makes sense. It's the type of thing Sony would do. They would pour a lot of time, effort, and money into this because it would help them if they could get exclusive marketing rights to a huge game like GTA 6. It is in their MO, and they've done it before with games like Hogwarts Legacy, and it's worked out great for them. So why wouldn't they try to do it with GTA? It just lines up. So I don't find it to be a particularly novel or interesting prediction. But with that being said, if it is in fact the case that there are sources that are reliable that are saying this, you would think we'd be hearing about it from more established journalists that have a better and more proven track record, people like a Jason Schreier or a Jeff Grubb, or even just reporting from bigger outlets that have a reputation to uphold. Not that these YouTubers are, I don't know if they're influencers or whatever, but not that they don't have a reputation to uphold, but the fact that, like, I do this for a living and I haven't heard of them makes me wonder, like, how established they are at this point. But I could just be in a bubble, who knows. That being said, I think that this makes sense. To be perfectly clear, PlayStation needs something to sell like the PS5 Pro on, in my opinion. They do now have Astrobot, which I think will be helpful, but they don't really have a game which is like the graphical powerhouse that they can point to and be like, ooh, that's the game. Like, that's why you should buy a PS5 Pro. They just don't. Maybe they'll do like a remaster, re-release, whatever package of the Last of Us games, put them together, sell them before Season 2 drops. I don't know. Maybe they do something like that. Could be easy money, and maybe that's how they showcase it. I don't know, but I do agree they need something, and having GTA 6 with like the trailers being all PS5 Pro, where it's like, oh, you see how good GTA 6 looks? Yeah, that's the PS5 Pro. That's why you need to go buy the Pro, not just the regular PS5. That absolutely would help them. I think the costs associated with that would be massive, but I wouldn't blame them for chasing it down. I would more blame Microsoft for not fighting for it themselves. Maybe they did in the background if this ends up being true, because at this point, like, you gotta wonder if they even are like trying with the hardware side of things anymore. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. Like, Microsoft is clearly transitioning from a traditional way of selling consoles to more of a software distributor, which is how they handle the rest of their business, whether it's Microsoft Office or their enterprise tools. So I'm not at all surprised they're going in that direction, but You would think that they put up a little bit of fight when it comes to marketing rights for like the biggest game of the decade, almost certainly. So it's interesting. It's an interesting news story. I really don't know what to make of it. I'm not familiar with the people that are leaking this. I maybe have come across them before and I just don't remember, but they're not one of the big names, and no other super established journalist or outlet has come forward to corroborate it, which is what you would expect if there were people talking about this, because usually when there is big breaking news or a story like this that's very consequential in the industry, the people that have that information go to the people who can report it in the most efficient way possible. So they'll go to somebody like a Jason Schreier, tip them off to the information, and then Jason will corroborate it with other sources that he has and double check if that's actually true and if these people agree, and then he'll report it. Whereas YouTubers and like Twitter accounts and stuff, like they'll just put it out there and be like, it's a rumor, somebody said something, which is about all that we can take from this, is that two people said something kind of similar that's not that novel of an idea. So whether or not it ends up being true is certainly up in the air, but we'll keep an eye on it. If it ends up being true, that's going to be a big deal, and I think it'll really help Sony. But I mean, I don't know if Take-Two cares that much. Like, do they really need the extra $100 million that they could get from Sony for it? Like, it can't hurt, yeah, but this is also GTA freaking 6. Like, maybe they just don't want to even bother messing with console war stuff or having another company involved in the marketing. Maybe that's another ding against this, is why would Rockstar want to risk another piece of the puzzle when leaks are already a problem? Why get Sony involved in the marketing of the game when they're already going to be super anxious about it? I mean, there were stories of YouTube employees that were leaking the trailer for GTA 6 early, like just, I think, minutes early. It wasn't even like maybe an hour early or something, but they went into the back end of YouTube, went to the Take-Two Interactive, whatever, YouTube channel, the Rockstar YouTube channel, and found the video before it had launched. Like, they're at that level of crazy where YouTube's own employees are allegedly doing that type of thing. So why would you want to introduce another layer of potential leaks to that? I mean, maybe that's something to consider as well. Either way, we'll look at it. I hope you guys are doing well. I can't wait to get back and keep streaming. And I might be able to stream later in the afternoon on Friday when you're seeing this, the 6th. Depending on when my plane gets back, I might stream in the evening, or I might just wait till Monday and hit it then. I'm not really sure. We'll just play it by ear. But until then, thanks for watching. I love you all. Thanks for making my dreams come true. Much love. I'll see you soon.
He took my thing.